Hey everybody, my name is Rick Van Hook. I'm the culinary arts teacher here at Lowndes High School. Entering my 6th year here at Lowndes. I've been teaching roughly for about 13 years or so, and before making a move into education, I've been executive chef, sous chef at various restaurants. So plenty of food service background before deciding to make the change into the teaching world. We have Introduction to Culinary Arts. That's what we've got your children signed up for, and that's the class that they are taking at the moment. At the moment, we're not too far into it. I know we're technically in our 4th week right now, and pretty much what they've covered so far is the bulk of this class, and that's the food safety and sanitation side of things within the food service industry. So what we really look for and what I push for is how we can safely manage our kitchens and prepare food while following sanitation procedures that the Department of Health pushes towards the food service industry to make sure that everything is cooked safe and prepared safe and served safe. So that's what we get into. We use a company called SurfSafe for the sanitation and food safety. So what they get out of this semester, this 1 semester in Intro to Culinary Arts, is the same thing that any cooks or food service professionals are going to get through going through a SurfSafe class itself, it could cost a lot of money by doing those classes. So they get that same information here through their class in Intro, and then at the end of the semester, they should have the knowledge to be able to test if they wish to do this for their certification. SurfSafe is a certification that's required by any food service establishment in the United States. So if you get certified in that certification is good for 5 years. So all food service establishments are required to have at least one employee that is SurfSafe certified. So your children at the end of this semester should have the knowledge to be able to take that exam and pass it and become SurfSafe certified. If they wish to do that, I've already told them that they're welcome to do it. I'm a SurfSafe proctor, so I can test them. You'll have to pay out of pocket for that exam, which I think the last time I tested someone it was about $45. And so again, I don't push that. It's not a requirement for the kids, but if that's something that they're looking into, or if culinary school is something that they really are interested in, it would not be a bad idea for them to come to me and say, "Hey, chef, I would like to take the SurfSafe exam, and I can schedule a date and time for them to take that. We'll get them set up online, and they'll take that exam, and hopefully pass it. If they pass, then they have the certificate that they would use, and any restaurant that I know of would welcome it. So it's a really good hiring tool as well." On top of the intro class, we don't just sit in the classroom and talk about food safety and sanitation. The kids, they can get bored with that, and I can get bored with it too, teaching it. So I try to throw in some other activities, get us in the kitchen every now and then, maybe once a week as we progress through the semester and they become more comfortable with working with certain foods, I can see them working safe. And following all these rules, we'll get into the kitchen a couple times a week, and we really start moving there. So, some of the other things that we'll cover is the history and philosophy of the food service industry. So, any positions or employment opportunities in the food service industry, we talk about those. I like to open their eyes a little bit. It's not just being a chef or a pastry chef. There's plenty of other things that go on in the food service industry that pay really well and have great job security and great benefits. So we go over those also. We'll discuss as well the food service equipment. All the equipment that we have in the kitchen at the moment, it's all industrial equipment, things that they would see and they would typically find in a restaurant setting. Your children do have the opportunity to be one of the first classes to step foot in our new kitchen, which will open up in January. So we have a really good state-of-the-art kitchen that's being worked on right now in the new building. And so we will start holding classes in there in the spring semester of this year, this coming up year. So they will be if they pass intro class, they will move into Culinary 1, and then if they pass Culinary 1, they'll move into Culinary 2. So they'll actually have the opportunity to take 2 different classes in that new kitchen, and that new kitchen is really exciting. There's a lot of equipment that will be in there that we don't currently have, and that I don't know of many restaurants that really do have that. So they're going to have that experience under their belt to be able to use this stuff, and really to use it brand new, which is really exciting. So we'll go over that equipment in here, as well as when we transition to the new lab, we'll go over that equipment as well, because they haven't seen it before and never used it. So it's, again, really exciting stuff we'll be doing there. We have to go over the culinary math skills. That's always their favorite. You know, let's learn about math in culinary class. But I always tell them it's not hard math. It's your basic math, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. What we're doing is we're taking recipe conversions and things like that. We don't really get into food costs or labor costs or anything like that. That's going to be later on down the line in Culinary 1, Culinary 2. So it's mainly, let's look at this recipe. If that recipe calls for, it makes 4 servings, well, how do we transition that into turning this into 20 servings? So with the recipe, or with the amounts of ingredients and things like that. So we get into that as well. We do that on a regular basis. Anytime we're cooking, we adjust these numbers. So they get a lot of practice with that. Knife skills is one of the funnest things for me to teach. I really enjoy teaching that side of things. And I think the kids really enjoy getting in there. They're really nervous at first, or they really think they know what they're doing with it, until I show them how I'm requiring to do it. So we'll make a move into the kitchen, I would say, in the next week, maybe 2 weeks from now. And they will have their first knife skills exercise, to where I will give them onions, and I mean like a couple 100 pounds of onions per class kind of thing. So they'll get in there, and I'll show them, I'll demonstrate the cuts. I'll show them how to hold the knife, how to sharpen it, and all that good stuff. And then I'll let them loose with their knives. And at their tables, they will need to do those cuts. But really what I'm looking for at the beginning is them getting used to holding the knife the way I'm showing them how to hold the knife. And I always tell the kids, you know, when you're cutting onions, obviously we're probably going to cry. If you need to get some fresh air, go out in the hallway. I email the entire staff to let them know the culinary kids are outside crying again, but they're okay emotionally. So they will come home that day smelling pretty fresh. So I do apologize in advance for that. But the onions, it's a really cheap method of doing it, and they're really easy to cut. So I like to use that as a way to kind of break them in with the knife skills. So that's pretty much what we get into. There's also some basic baking skills that we'll do in there throughout the semester. But nothing crazy, just some easy breads, yeast spreads, and things like that. One of the last things I was going to mention was my requirements or my expectations, and it's pretty simple. I'll really focus on them participating. If they signed up for a culinary class, I don't want to teach them out of a book. I want to teach them hands-on training. That's how I'm best at teaching, and that's how I'm best at learning. And a lot of the students that I see come through, it's the same way. They need to learn by putting their hands on it. And so that's the bulk of things. So anytime we're in the kitchen, I want to see them participating. That's 50% of their entire grade is just their participation. Their assignments, their daily assignments and homeworks, 10%. Their tests and projects are 20%. And then we have their final exam, which is also 20%. While I'm on the final exam, they will be held December 15th and 16th. So first and second block would be on December 15th. And then third and fourth block would be on December 16th. And so they'll be ready to go. By that point, I think they're going to be fine on their exams. And I think everybody's going to be fine. And I'm really excited about the students that I have right now in our intro classes. I'm really enjoying the work that they're putting in at this point. I know it's early in the semester, but I see some potential with quite a few of the students, and so it's pretty exciting, especially when we transition to that new kitchen. If anybody has any questions or comments, concerns, or anything like that, feel free to reach me. Email's the best route to take. And my email address is richardvanhook@lowndes.k12.ga.us. I've given your student or your children syllabi, and on the syllabi there are my email addresses on there. It's also going to be found in Google Classroom, so they need to make sure that they're using Google Classroom a good bit. That's where all their assignments and anything that we're doing in class that's in there, and also parents, it'd be good for you to look at too. So you can contact me through that or email. All right. We look forward to the rest of this semester, and then like I said, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me.